record that to record later?
No, you can't record the voice ever. I think the only way I could probably do it is if like I started a meeting and recorded it without headphones, but recorded it on my phone. But then that would sound like it's coming from a distance. Anyway, welcome everybody to Geek Boots Military Nerds. Here at Geek Boots, we tell you all about the big green weenie that likes to continue to fuck us. Just like the proverbial voice at the beginning of a recording of Zoom, and how it's a continuing conversation just as we were about to roll into the episode. It's too funny, too candid. I had another big greenie weenie, but then you asked that question and I completely forgot what it was. So,
Well, I mean, we could say that, I ordered food and was about to watch Loki when I got a message about it's time to record.
Or dressing up for an event and forgetting sunscreen.
You're the big red weenie right now, right?
Right.
Oh, it's for you.
All right.
Hello.
Jesus fucking Christ, that hurt the ears.
Hello. If it's for me, just take a message.
Could you imagine if she didn't have headphones on when that went blasting? Anyway.
I could answer it. It's my friend. She's calling on FaceTime.
Oh, that's perfect. While we're all sitting here having a conversation, and instead of her derailing it with us, she's derailing the show with someone else. This week's episode is all about Black Widow spoilers.
Oh,
yeah!
Spoilers, so go away if you haven't watched it.
Yep, so just FYI. But before you leave, let's do a couple of quick shout outs. People who support the channel. And
Bye!
Yeah. Nobody supports the channel. Anyway, comic book shops and other things that we'd like to give shout outs to. Mine is Mill Geeks Comics and Collectibles in the Mill Creek, Pacific Northwest region in Washington. Thanks for continuing to support us. On top of that, I would also like to give a giant shout out to Irreverent Warrior March. I did that on my weekend. That is why I look like a red lobster. Fantastic.
I'm hungry.
They are all about suicide prevention, not awareness, prevention. The objective is to get veterans out, do a Silkies march. For those who don't know what Silkies are, if you are watching us on YouTube, they look like these.
Oh,
like
that's sexy.
1930s or some shit gym shorts. Really high up. Anyway.
So basically the same thing as all of our PT gear today, because they don't know how to change that?
No, because Army shorts are different. Army PT shorts came out while I was still in with a new breed of PT shorts. It's the PT shorts with the spandex built in. Boom.
Boom.
Ooh, yeah.
I like it.
Anyway, Irreverent Warrior March's objective is to have an event and do something fun. Get people out and engaged and hang out with other fellow vets. If you've been, cooped up in home, or you just have no idea how to get in contact with fellow veterans in your area, this gives you an opportunity to have an activity, have fun, be silly, crack a lot of jokes, and just put on a lot of smiles. And hit up a couple of pubs along the way. So that's what I did. It was fantastic. I'm going to be doing it again. I showed up originally as Captain America, but after the halfway mark, it got a little too hot to wear all that, and I had to take it off. So yeah, shout out to Irreverent Warrior March. Oh, and my favorite part about them is while you're marching, depending on your location, we're talking about veterans. So there's going to be the Army flag, the Navy flag, the Marine flag, the Air Force flag. There's going to be a lot of American flags. In Seattle, because they're stupid, I'm not going to shy away from that. They don't do research, right? They see American flags and they immediately thought we were an alt-right organization. So this is the reason why I love this objective. Regardless of what it is that they're doing, they're looking at you and thinking you're an alt-right organization, or they're looking at you and they're wondering why you're wearing Silkies. Doesn't matter, right? They hand out business cards at the beginning before you start marching. Everyone's got a total of maybe 10 to 20. You break from the march and you go up to the person looking at you very confused and you say, "Hi, we're marching to help prevent and end suicide within veteran ranks." It changes the tonality and brings more awareness along with the prevention. And then you add on, if you've got somebody that you know who is served that is looking for something that needs to get out, tell them to hit this up and come on out and join us. So it's fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I had the best time of my life, made some incredible new friends, and connected with people that I've been talking to online, but I never met in person. Shout out to Cameron Jewell on Instagram. So, and then I got a challenge coin from Sausage Major on TikTok. Met Miranda Henney on TikTok, and that one Air Force girl on TikTok. Fantastic group of people, veteran TV. Awesome. Absolutely loved it. So shout out to Irreverent Warrior March. We have before we go over to that, Cosplay Genemy, it is your turn.
I mean, right now, the only thing I really want to shout out to is this Wingstop fry. So
go for it. Do it. Watch. They'll listen to this episode and they'll be all like, "You guys want a sponsorship?" Fuck yeah. How much you willing to pay?
Yum. Free fries, because that would be sold.
Do they ship?
I don't even need the wings. I don't even need the wings. Just give me the fries.
Just give me the fries. You're such a stereotypical white girl. I
am and I'm not.
I know. It's all over the place. You work at Starbucks, but
I pay for Dutch Brothers when I leave there.
Fucking right. I work at Starbucks, which means I know what they put in their drinks and why I don't drink Starbucks. Anyway, special guest returning.
Coffee and sugar.
Hawkeye.cosplay.
Yep.
We have theme music now? I want theme music.
Why not? Just make your own.
Cosplay Genemy, it's not all about you on this show, okay?
What?
That's not what I heard.
The way
lies and deception.
The way she acts, you would think that. I'm gonna make you a crown filled with green weenies.
That'll be funny to see.
It will. It would be.
Yeah.
Just put it on for like a second for the show, and then you can take it off and do whatever you want. I just want the still of you holding the crown on your head. Being, look.
That's a good plan. I actually have a shout out this time. I remember all the rest of times I haven't had one, right?
There you go.
So I'm going to give a shout out to my local comic book store here in Murrieta, California. Graham Cracker Comics. Graham Cracker Comics.
I like it.
Yep. It's tasty from what I hear.
Is it a gingerbread house?
It may be. And you just bring your own. You bring your own chocolate, your marshmallows, and you're good to go.
There's a fucking witch who's the manager, and it's kind of like
come inside.
Our books are delicious.
We have comics.
No, it's like Onward. It's like Onward, the retired whatever her name was.
Yeah.
The Centaur.
Yeah, the Centaur, and she changed the whole platform into an actual restaurant. So she couldn't eat kids anymore because the population's expanded. She can't do rural as much as easily as she used to. So she turned it into a comic book shop because that's how to easily get kids inside. But she can't eat the kids, so she found some magical way to feed off of their laughter or something. I don't know.
There you go.
Mike Wazowski.
But I told you I would do that, and I did that. So
good
we're
job.
good to go.
You successfully completed your first part of your mission. The second part is, ladies and gentlemen, check us out on Patreon. Patreon gets you awesome, sweet deals. Shout out to Guts and Sean, our loyal 2 and only 2 supporters. Thank you so much. One day we'll get a third one. One day.
It'll be a good day. We'll party.
We'll party so fucking hard. I'll douse an entire bottle of mead for that. We are on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, your mother's backside. That being said, again, tonight is the spoiler-tastic episode of Black Widow. If you have not seen Black Widow, but you would like to hear us talk about it somewhat, check last week's episode. I will link it somewhere on the video, somewhere along the screen, and you can go watch that instead. Otherwise, you've got 5 goddamn seconds to get the ever-loving fuck off this fucking episode. So we don't spoil shit. That being said, let's dive into this. Oh my god, Black Widow.
Right?
Yay.
Yeah.
I've seen it twice.
Yeah. So it was an interesting. So I'm gonna key this off to a question I had asked on the previous episode that you obviously, for obvious reasons,
Danced around.
refused. Yeah, the whole dynamic and theme of this movie, because most Marvel movies are very cookie cutter, except
Sure.
Captain America, because his first movie was World War II. His second movie was kind of espionage-y. Ant-Man has a lot of heist movies. This movie was espionage-y, with a different twist, of course. It wasn't survival. It was, to quote Daenerys Stormborn, I'm gonna break the fucking wheel. You know what I mean? Like, I have the answers and I need to stop this. So I loved that about this movie. It was a different dynamic and theme.
It was a revenge movie.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, revenge. Yep. I loved it.
It was fantastic.
I knew you'd ask me questions last week, and now you know why I was so reluctant to even give you anything, because it would have ruined the whole thing for you.
Yeah. Let's.
Like,
So from our Patreon, one of the questions was about how they did the characters. Who the fuck was that? Did anybody else just hear that just now?
oh, I heard it.
Was that you, Jen?
It was not me. It was my background.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so 2 characters that they brought forward are in the comic books, which is Red Guardian and Taskmaster. I don't know much about Red Guardian, but I can tell you right now, Taskmaster was completely different.
Completely, from what I understand.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought it was well done. The whole mimic aspect of it was well done. But Red Guardian, I don't know about you guys, but because I don't know anything about the comic books, well done.
I loved David Harbour in that role. It was awesome. He was just, he really entertained the heck out of me. I loved that character. Even though he didn't, I thought we could have saw more of him, I think. More of that fight and stuff, but I like it.
There's a lot going on, so.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
Let's key into that and go around the room with full-on question/thoughts about Red Guardian. Favorite scene and why for Red Guardian. Let's key it off to our special guest. Favorite scene of Red Guardian.
Favorite scene. I love the prison escape scene. I thought that was pretty cool. But to pick a favorite was, I mean, just the whole, like, the arm wrestling thing was hilarious to me. The way he was, oh boo, that whole, I don't know. Just, I think every scene with him in it was wonderful. But I think this, when they were trying to escape and he was, running, and you just see, his body just boom, he's trying to escape, and he's climbing. I don't know. I just thought that was awesome. But and the other scene I really liked is when he was on the bed telling her the story. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, he's trying to connect, and it's just like,
trying to connect.
Stop! You don't understand.
Yeah. So, yeah.
To piggyback off of the prison scene, given what we know about his frustrations as a character, I mean, that's, I don't know how many people are going to notice this, but that really keys into his mental health as a character too, and where he's at, because if he could break out.
Yeah, the moment they said, okay, come break out, he was out.
Yeah.
He broke himself out of that prison easily.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, so the reason why he was in that jail cell, he gave up on life.
That's right. He was mentally locked up.
the people he fought for because he thought he was fighting for some grand scheme and
Yep.
for country, and they did away with him. And he said, "All right, fuck it, I'm just gonna go live in prison for the rest of my life. Fuck y'all. Fuck Russia."
The
Basically.
Crimson Dynamo.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Red
Cosplay
Guardian.
Jenny, your favorite Red Guardian scene?
My favorite scene would have to be when he was trying to put on his costume. That's by far my favorite scene with him. I mean, he had a bunch of good scenes, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I laughed so hard
Still fits.
because and then somebody did make a meme out of it, but I did thought the same thing. I was like, oh, it's like all of us cosplayers after a year and a half of doing cons.
Yeah.
And then I did see a meme later, and I was like, oh, somebody else thought that too. I was like,
Yes.
oh, that's totally where we're at.
Right.
But then also I loved it when he's like talking to the two of them about when they're like trying to tell him that he doesn't like understand things, and he was like pulling them both, and he's like, but you guys are these killers and blah blah.
Yeah, you've murdered so many people. I'm so proud of you.
They're like wrong direction.
Yeah.
Direction. It's not what either one of them wanted to hear.
Right.
He was so proud of them for all the things that they regretted in their lives.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
man. Yeah. All right, let's talk about one of the small details, but an obvious big answer. Again, something that Hawkeye could not tell us. Let's talk about Hawkeye for a second. So, Budapest, right? Now, I'm personally kind of not very clear on the whole aspect of what Budapest was. I mean, obviously there was a strife and a struggle. So are we saying Budapest is when she killed?
Correct.
Okay.
yes.
So that was when Barton was helping her get out of that world and come over to S.H.I.E.L.D. That was the whole mission, was to take him out so she could escape from the Red Room.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So we finally have an explanation of what happened in Budapest, although we didn't obviously see him. I mean, we saw him when Taskmaster was watching that video. That was actually Hawkeye. He's talked about a lot. We finally have the explanation without, Jeremy Renner being in the movie.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it was interesting because I was trying to remember what you had told me. So she picks up that box full of old memories. And I'm thinking, is that what he was referencing? Hold on, is that it? And then there's like no visual show of it. I'm like, okay, that's not it. And then they get to the wall and there's the 2 arrow holes in the wall. I'm like, all right, there's something, but I don't know why, but I just felt like the whole thing with in terms of Budapest and trying to kill the leader of the red circle, it kind of just, I was like, wait, so are they going to talk about, for some reason it just escaped me. I didn't realize that's what they were referencing. So
yeah, they had a flashback moment. You could actually hear her talking when she was in the car and you saw the daughter run in.
Yeah,
you could hear Barton's voice.
That's who that was
actually that was Barton's voice saying, are we clear or good or whatever. So yeah, they were trying to kill him at that moment. So that was their mission. That was Budapest.
Wow. And they used her to do it. Those dicks.
Well, she wanted to do it.
Well, no. By her, I mean the daughter.
Oh. Well, collateral damage.
Yeah. I love that you just moved up the microphone and it didn't do shit to stop the noise of you doing that.
I tried.
Right?
Well, people were complaining they couldn't hear me. Now they get to hear everything I do.
I'm not comfortable all of a sudden. I need an adult. And I don't mean the 2 adults that are in this Zoom call with me.
An adult or adult.
Exactly.
We're adulting.
Yes. We're adulting. Are we? Is that what this is?
Yeah. I refuse to grow up.
Yep, that's why we have shields on the back of our walls, and Cosplay Jenemy decides to talk to us once a week.
I was like, I do? No, not a shield. I have Mickey Mouse on the other wall. You just can't see it.
You technically have a shield. You could put that up on the wall. Because I remember that photo shoot.
Do not have that shield anymore.
What the fuck?
Got lost in the divorce.
Oh, bastard. So we're going to blame him. Cosplay Jenemy, what do you want to talk about? I mean, I know we obviously have to discuss her sister, because damn,
Wow.
She was the
Wow.
best part of the
of the
movie.
whole movie, of the
Absolutely
whole movie. Oh my god!
fantastic.
Let's just spend
Like just
half an
anything from
hour.
just like the quibs she does to just her like
Her delivery was so good.
her whole
Yes.
aesthetic. They're just everything about her was just
Why do you
on par.
why do you do
why do you
do the thing?
you're such a poser.
I love that so much. I love her
And
so
then
goddamn
when
much.
she drops in and she goes, ugh.
Yeah, she does the pose, gets up.
Oh.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. She had to try it. She had to try it once.
Yeah, she absolutely made that movie. I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was like how Kano was in Mortal Kombat, only Black Widow was 10 times better of a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Mortal Kombat too, but yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I liked Mortal Kombat. It's just there were a fuck ton of flaws in that movie. And in Black Widow, if there was a moment of a flaw, they used her sister to do like this dialogue about it. Like, for instance, the vest. She's obviously wearing the fucking vest, and they're sitting in the car, awkward silence. You haven't said anything about my vest. I'm very insulted right now.
I love that though.
Pockets.
I didn't think that was a flaw. I thought that was fantastic.
Well,
and then it made us focus on that vest because she takes it and she's wearing it in Infinity War, right?
Yeah. Well, no, the reason why I bring that up is because there were moments where if there would be a moment for a flaw, her character broke it with perfectly executed humor. Like, throughout the entire movie, honestly.
I know.
It was so perfect.
So,
oh,
so obviously in credit scene. Did not see that coming. I don't think anybody in the theater did. And when I saw it the first time, I was at the world premiere. So we're all in costume sitting in the El Capitan Theater. And I'm like the only Hawkeye in costume. There were a couple other guys that did some bounding, two Hawkeyes that were bounding, but they weren't in costume. And I'm sitting there, and that end credit scene, happens, and then the lights come on, and everybody's like, I'm like, everybody's looking at me, and I'm like, oh snap!
I didn't do it.
Oh snap! But seeing her in that movie and knowing she's going to be in the Hawkeye series, I'm like, I can't wait for this series.
Right. I'm so hoping it's like, I don't know. I really want her to take on that like double agent thing that Black Widow in the comics was, like, so bad.
Yeah, no. I mean, there have been multiple people to don the name Black Widow, so I really
exactly.
That's where they're going with this. Is her sister?
And so as soon as the mantle. Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, but there's so much you can do to take with like
so much
Black Widow storylines that they have done in the past with like her double agent and like. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. And then, what we've seen from the Hawkeye series, he's getting the snot beat out of him by somebody. So does she go after him? Does she, take them? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see. But when I had heard she was going to be in it before I saw Black Widow, that she was going to be in the Hawkeye series. I'm like, why would she be in it? I couldn't figure out how the story might go. And you see that end credits and you're like, oh,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, I just feel like I kind of already see where this whole entire thing is going. I feel like her character is going to be that wake up for the realization that Madam Hydra is evil. I think it's going to be her. Because
she's evil? No.
Well, shut the fuck up. I think that unfortunately, John Walker is too overjoyed.
He's too far gone.
He's not too far gone. He's just his head's too far up his own ass. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Because he's not evil. And the biggest problem with this is that Madam Hydra is making it look like I'm here to help you. We're gonna save the country. And this is not Red Skull saying I'm gonna save the country by killing a bunch of motherfuckers. Join me or die. This is, you want to save the world? You don't need to ask questions. Here's this file. go do these things, and I will reward you with bountiful rewards. You know, and she's manipulating the system, and I can see that. But John Walker is an idiot. He's not. He's gonna.
That's the way to describe him.
I mean, he is Army.
I really feel. Wow. Wow. Uh-huh. Sure.
I don't know how to feel about that because I'm
like
already
the last two episodes, you did not take a shot at me.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot to, I mean, aside from the fact that you're just a bunch of glorified chair fucking warriors.
Don't be jealous.
Now, see,
Don't be jealous.
I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous.
Because I was Air Force and Army, I'm going to point at both of you. Stop making fun of each other.
There you go. Split the
Yes,
kids
Daddy.
up.
Yeah.
Whoa. Black. Yeah. How would I tie that into this episode title? Yes, Daddy. Black Widow spoiler review. People are gonna be like, what?
Weird shit is that? Kind of weird shit. Yeah.
That's something you could easily say at a Reverent Warrior March, and everybody would giggle.
So what did you guys think? I'm really curious because I know how I felt when I saw that end credit scene. Did it blow you guys away like it did me? Did you see it coming? I mean, I didn't.
I definitely didn't see it coming. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. Go ahead.
The one thing is about the movie is it kind of almost makes you forget what happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like, you have gotten into this new world and you're like, oh, these characters, I love these characters. Oh, look, they got together. It's fun. And then she walks into a cemetery and your whole life goes, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And that was kind of where, and then she walks up and you're just like, no.
Yeah.
Because you know how close that she,
Yeah.
You know how close they are. And then her sister, if she had known more, and maybe she does know more, we don't know. Because
we don't know. Till the Hawkeye series, we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
My initial response, honestly, was that I was disappointed because in the fact that the character was already in league with Madam Hydra from their conversation. However, that being said, there is some semblance of hope because it's clear that she does not like Madam Hydra. She didn't give a shit about Madam. Yeah, like she's sitting there trying to pay her respects, and she's giving the eye of, you know, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm on your payroll, I would bash your head against this fucking tombstone right now.
Yeah.
Until it's a bloody pulp, because that's who she is. When that paperwork showed up, I was like, that's why I messaged you. I said, let's see how this all ties in together now. And the reason why I said that is, like I said before, I truly feel like Barton and her are, and I keep saying her because I keep forgetting the character's name. Can somebody please remind me?
Elena.
Barton's, much like Natasha, is going to help Elena. The big difference between these two is that we have a character who is just misled, not brainwashed. So
Correct.
It's going to be a lot easier of convincing. There's still going to be a fight and a struggle, but it's going to be a lot easier to convince Elena that this is not the route, and that connection, that communication is what's going to be the first domino effect that will destroy everything Madam Hydra is trying to build. And that's how I see that connecting for that storyline. So I was pleasantly surprised in the sense that, in terms of not seeing that coming, of how they're going to put her in the MCU as the new Black Widow, because I am 100% certain she's going to be the new Black Widow. Whether it's through donning the gear to go after Barton, and Barton's confused, like, why is this blonde chick wearing Nat's stuff? This doesn't make any sense.
I'm sure he has to know about her.
Sure. Or
that he knows about the sister.
Or better yet, after the struggle, much like, say, Sam as Captain America, he's sitting there rocking his usual outfit. It's not until the ending where he dons his new wardrobe and his new identity. Maybe that's how that's going to go, where this series with her and Hawkeye, this big struggle, and then finally, you know what? It's time I don my sister's gear, and she becomes the new Black Widow. But I see it tying together nicely, and I too am very excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be interesting.
I would like to know how they're going to kill Madam Hydra, because her personality is very oh. I just want her to walk out into the street nonchalant, very chill, and like just a bus runs her over. Just
well, she's doing a great job with that character. There's no doubt.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Yeah, she's a really good actress. So to make us hate her almost instantly, you're like, oh, you're so good.
I know, she just walks in on the screen, like you don't.
You just want to smack her.
She doesn't even have to open her mouth, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, right. Now, of course, we saved the best for last on this episode. We got to talk about Black Widow herself. We got to talk about Nat. It's her fucking movie. So, favorite.
It felt like it was her movie, but not her movie.
Again, like Kano in Mortal Kombat, Elena stole the fucking show. It's supposed to be about all this, but here's this one character that we really fucking enjoy.
Well, I kind of think it was on purpose.
It was. I really believe it was.
I do, and I think because of where it was released at the time it was released, that this is more of a handing off movie from one to the next, without being overly dramatic about it.
Well, look, Black Widow's always badass. I mean, what do you say? I mean, we've fallen in love with her over the last 10 years.
Her character has grown a lot.
Yeah.
And
I felt like between the two sisters, Ilani has more of the personality. But Elena, whatever.
Yeah,
Yelena has more of the personality. But Nat has more of the skills. Because she was a fucking rock star throughout the entire movie.
Sure.
Because, I mean, she's been up there with the Avengers battling these end-of-the-world scenarios. And
well, not only that, she went through the training without being...
mind controlled. Well,
mind controlled, yeah.
With drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
She was mind controlled in the fact that she was... Yeah, you can't leave.
Exactly.
But...
So the question then begins is, when did the drug, which is the whole basis of the start of this movie, and the, to bring back the Red Circle, when did the drugging start? Because
it had to have started after she had killed him.
Yeah, it had to have, because that, no, you know what? You're right, because I think they made a small dialogue mention about that when she and he are face to face. And she can't fight him, so she's just talking through the motions, and he brings up about how ever since you tried to kill me, I had to up the ante, and so that's why he wanted to create such mind control devices, obviously, especially with Taskmaster himself.
They've been working on that for a while, obviously, because they got it back in 1995 in Ohio. They had gotten the technology, and they've been working on it. Did anybody else cringe when she broke her nose, though? I went, oh!
I was like, why did you do? Oh, but still, no. And then she fixed it back.
I've been desensitized to such a thing, because in Punisher Warzone, he punches himself. No, he gets punched in the nose and it breaks. So then he's sitting there and he's waiting and monitoring for Jigsaw's character. And then he looks down, sees a pencil, takes the pencil, slides it up his nose, and goes and fixes it, and just goes, all right, we're good. And I'm just like,
ugh,
why? So because seeing that in a rated R setting, watching Nat bash her face into the fucking desk, I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, all right.
Well, I mean, it made sense, and it was
even the second time.
I wasn't.
I was like, oh.
I just wasn't cringing. I mean,
But it was just like
I already watched Frank Castle do it at an ultimate level. Nat bashing her face against the desk. I'm just like, yeah.
But it's not something you normally see her do. I think that's kind of more the whole like.
Sure, again, but the argument is I've been desensitized to this.
When she turned to him and said, "Thank you for your cooperation," I went, "Oh snap! What's going down now?"
I knew something was happening.
Love that. What's she gonna do? So she's been playing him the whole time, like, oh, she's so good at that.
But yeah, I was gonna say, but that's like her MO. That's what she does.
Yeah, she did to Loki too.
Right.
She gets everybody to reveal themselves to her.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when she was in the chair, she's like, "What do you need? I'm in the middle of an interrogation." The guy's like, "What?"
They're giving everything away.
This idiot is giving me everything. I don't give everything. And
she's looking like, "What are they talking about?"
And then she's like, "All right, hold on."
Right.
Love it.
Yes. I also have mixed feelings about her fight scene with all of the other younger Black Widows, or not younger Black Widows, the other younger assassins. So the reason why I say mixed feelings is
widows, yeah.
While I absolutely love the sister dynamic and helping each other out, don't get me wrong, I kind of low-key was really hoping and pulling that she would not go down, because she's the #1 Black Widow and she could take them all on without completely damaging them. You know what I mean? Like it's just a super OP moment for a minute, but because she's trying trying not to hurt them or kill them.
Yeah, she's trying not to hurt them where they're trying to kill her.
It would take her a long time, but she still wouldn't go down until they're surrounding her, and then the thing would come in, not them beating up on her and she's on the ground. That's when I was like, aw. But I was also like, aw.
I mean, it makes sense.
I don't know.
Though.
She was kicking their asses up to a certain point, but there were so many of them.
Yeah, even if you're the best of the best of the best,
with that many,
you're
tons,
eventually go down.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a Marvel movie. I don't want reality. Okay.
Well, there was definitely not some. There wasn't a lot of reality in this. Let's be honest. I mean, when they're jumping out
the airplane.
Yeah, jumping through the sky. Yeah, I mean, landing on a piece and exploding. Makes sense.
By the way, fingerless gloves, right? And Nat lands on this big old piece of like glass, and she's just going through it, and I'm like,
your fingers, yeah.
Okay. Sure.
You wouldn't have fingers.
We gotta suspend disbelief for a second. Just let it go. But oh my god.
You have to suspend disbelief on Ellen. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, that's why we go, right?
Yeah. I don't want reality in my comic book movies. I don't.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, when Hawkeye was fighting Black Panther, come on.
Right.
Black Panther would have eaten him for lunch, right? Because
I was gonna say when Hawkeye fights any of them.
No, except for Black Widow, because they're trained very similarly.
Yeah, they are, but
but the rest of them, yeah.
I mean, when either one of those two, can combat.
I don't mean for this to come off insulting. I mean this as a pure descriptor. Hawkeye, in my opinion, Hawkeye is a lot like a discount version of Batman, in the sense that with enough prep time, Hawkeye is unbeatable. It's the same concept. Looking at the comic books, the Civil War II, Hawkeye was the one to finally beat the Hulk because he had enough prep time. He knew where to place himself, he knew where to be, and he knew what to use. Yeah. Granted, Banner told him, but he knew what to do. So with enough prep time, Hawkeye's unbeatable for sure.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Put in the heat of the moment, that's why he's a discount Batman. Put him in the heat of the moment, he struggles.
Yeah. He shouldn't be able to hold his own against somebody like a Black Panther.
No.
Hi, I'm Clint. No, he should. Like you're done.
Yeah.
But it's all disbelief, man. It's all disbelief.
Age of Ultron. We are on a piece of rock.
Yeah.
Floating into space, and we're on rock, and I'm shooting robots with a bow and
arrow. None of this
makes any sense. That's right. Yes, absolutely love it.
That's one of the reasons why I like him, though, is because he's human.
Yeah.
Just has exceptional skills.
Yeah.
I hope they give his character more justice, I guess, in the series. I hope he's able to, because they really didn't give him a lot of opportunity in the movies. I mean, if you read the comics and stuff, you know, they didn't really give him the opportunity to shine. I mean, he did a lot of amazing things. I mean, he took down, you know, like the helicarrier, right? He did a lot of amazing stuff, but he just doesn't get the respect that I think he deserves for.
Well,
that's one of the reasons why I really like these Marvel shows is we're getting
about to say that.
The background characters, because you can't focus in on everybody in a movie.
No.
Right.
Short amount of time, you got to get the storyline through, and you have all these characters coming in and out.
Yeah. Let's put Wanda into the setting of becoming that ultimate power that could be very dangerous. Okay, do we want to do a movie? No, let's flesh it out with a TV show. Okay. And then freaking Falcon and Winter Soldier, the new Captain America. All right, let's make people wonder who's going to be the next Captain America. Okay, well, let's flesh it out with the TV series. Loki. Everyone wants to know what's going to happen to Loki. Is he going to live or die? How's this all going to play out? Let's flesh it out with the TV series. And ultimately, each one of these shows is going to connect to the next MCU phase in movies.
It's fantastic. I'm loving it. In fact, as soon as we're down here, I'm going to watch Loki.
Yeah, same.
I just finished Loki, and I can't wait for our program to do a review on the show Loki and talk about literally the universe that they've unfolded in front of us. Because in all honesty, yeah, there's some character growth. Sure, that can be talked about. There's a lot going on within Loki that I'm just like, oh my God. We have to talk about what all this even fucking means for the Marvel universe.
Well, we know they're going to open up the multiverse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, and then we got What If next, which will be, I'm looking forward to that too.
I'm so excited for that.
And, you know, it was confirmed by Disney and Kevin Feige that Deadpool 3 would introduce the X-Men into the MCU. And in a small 1-minute way, Ryan Reynolds graced us with that with a YouTube video to advertise for a whole nother movie as a whole. But he was blessed with the fact that his co-star is Taika Waititi, who also plays a Marvel character. So it all worked out in the end.
It was so good.
It was such a good video. I fucking loved it.
I was like, huh.
Love Ryan Reynolds.
I now want to actually see that movie that he's
yeah.
I was like, okay. And then I was like,
my favorite part of that little trailer that they did, that little video they did for with Deadpool doing Free Guy, was referencing Cruella, and he's watching the trailer and he just goes, where the fuck are the Dalmatians?
Where are the dogs?
Yeah.
So yeah, Black Widow, definitely worth seeing in theaters for that.
Absolutely.
IMAX Dolby experience for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, if you don't want to go to the movie theater, I would say, yeah, it's definitely worth the $30 charge on Disney Plus.
Sort of want to do it, even though I've already seen it.
I am with you on that one, just because I want to see the Red Guardian some more. I mean, that was kind of my guilty pleasure of the whole. You know what? Here's an excellent question for everybody. What was your guilty pleasure of the whole movie? That'll be the ending question of this episode. Let's key it off to our special guest.
Guilty pleasure. Oh, I don't know.
I'll give you guys some time to think and just give my answer.
Yeah, give yours, because I'm like, I never thought about a guilty pleasure. I don't know if the whole thing's a guilty pleasure to me, but
right. Well, so for lack of a better phrase, guilty pleasure, right? So my favorite thing of the whole entire thing was Red Guardian. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could watch the whole entire thing for all of it over again, but those were the scenes that I got giddy over because, I mean, it's John Harbaugh. Come on, man. That's just... And then just Red Guardian's character was just so fucking hilarious. Like, he obviously didn't know when to stop.
He had some really good one-liners. I'm sorry.
He did.
Yeah. Then when he finally broke down as to all of it on an emotional level, only for it to all end because they had found them and then shot him with a dart. And he's like, are you kidding me? Right. So yeah, guilty pleasure, something that I found I can find I can watch those scenes alone. Is Red Guardian. Hawkeye cosplay.
I loved, well, for me, right, there was the Budapest explanation, seeing him at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are moments, obviously, because I cosplay that character, so
What?
those were big moments for me. But Yelena, absolutely my favorite in the whole thing. I loved it. I loved it all, right? I mean, that's like saying, 1A, 1B, 1C, but I thought she really surprised me. She's a fantastic actress, Florence is, and then setting it up for the Hawkeye series, but seeing her and then just really enjoying that character, that was probably my guilty pleasure.
And cosplay Jimmy, what was your guilty pleasure and why was it Yelena?
Yeah, pretty much. No, it was just her and Nat, like, just interaction between each other. Like, every scene that the two of them were together in was my favorite, especially when she was making fun of her, because not everybody gets to be on the cover and hang out with the Avengers.
Why do you do that? Why do you do that?
Why do you do this? Why do you do this?
Why do you do the thing? Why do you do the head nod?
You're such a poser.
Such a poser.
You're such a poser. You're
not
a poser.
A poser. You're such a poser.
and then when Dad does something posing.
When she landed, when they were getting Red Guardian out of the prison, and she landed, and she goes, oh, and eye rolls when she landed because she did the.
Yeah.
Oh.
that thing.
Yes.
Like, just the two of them together. Every scene with the two of them together.
Right. For
was
sure.
My favorite.
Yes. All right,
Excellent.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for our special guest, Hawkeye Cosplay, for returning again.
Good to see you all.
Make sure you check us out on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, YouTube, Your Mother's Backside. Check us out on Patreon. Help support this channel. Help support everything we're trying to do. I think that's it. I am Tom Cruise, your host, representing the United States Army. With me are my lovely co-host, Cosplay Jenny.
Guys.
And of course,
word.
Yeah, okay, we'll roll with it. Air Force. And of course, our special guest, Hawkeye Cosplay.
You bet. It was a pleasure being here, guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Always fun.
And my guys couldn't be here because she's running late, but it is what it is. We love her nonetheless.
She got out of work late.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. Deuces.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
See you all with Lukey. With Lukey next week. That's the title. Is Lukey next week. I'm stamping it in right now. Lukey next week.
Suck a fucking dick, motherfucker. Suck a fucking dick.
Motherfucker!
Suck a fucking dick, motherfucker. Suck a fucking dick.
Motherfucker!